everybody! Today we are going to create this beautiful, colorful, cute, whimsical autumn art journal page together, working with some liquid watercolors, a little bit of texture in the background, my autumn girl printables. Of course you can use any other type of imagery or just a stamped image. This one's already colored in if you use my printable stickers, but of course you could use the Autumn Girl stamp set, for example, if you want to stamp that image yourself, or again use any other type of image that you like. And we are gonna spray paint some original autumn leaves that you can find everywhere outside in nature right now, and we're going to add a metallic coat to those autumn leaves and add them to our page, and then do a little bit of collage work here. So actually a pretty simple art journal page, yet I really like the result, very colorful. And yeah, colorful is a perfect match for autumn, right? So yeah, I think we will jump right in, get started. Hope you will enjoy this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a message in the info box below the video, and I'm happy to answer. I will put all the supplies into the info box as well if you have a question about those. And yeah, so let's get started. I'm working in my art journal traveler's notebook here, and this is a heavyweight mixed media paper in this booklet, and I will start by using a stencil and a palette knife and some lightweight texture paste here. So this is gonna be the first thing. I'm just gonna apply, just picking a spot here on that stencil that I like. Maybe this paisley here is a nice match for autumn. And then I'm just going ahead applying the texture paste with my palette knife, really applying a nice thick coat of the texture paste so that I have, or so that it leaves a nice raised effect here. A nice raised, nicely raised stenciled image on my page. And I think maybe I'm even doing this one floral shape down here, because I always like the effect of design elements going off the page, so that it looks like the design is kind of continuing beyond the borders of the page. Always kind of adds interest. Same up here. So I have a nice floral image kind of scattered across this page. Once I raise my stencil here, as you can see, it's kind of coming in up here, moving down, and then continuing down here. So I'm gonna let this dry for now before we continue with the next step. And this lightweight texture paste just needs a little bit of drying time, so maybe like 30 minutes. It really depends on the texture paste or the medium that you're working with. Some of them take a little longer to dry, so make sure that it's really nice dry before you continue with some wet media, because you don't want to lose the texture, okay? So now that this is dry, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to spritz this page with some clear water, and then I'm going to add in some Talents of Amsterdam Ecoline watercolors, liquid watercolors, for a little bit of a color effect here on the page. And in addition, I'm going to sprinkle in just a tiny bit of the Paper Artsy UK Infusions color pigments, just to get a first base layer of color onto the page here, okay? And since I really want the colors to blend and bleed into each other, I'm just going to spritz that page with a good amount of water, and then I'm just going to add in a tiny bit of the liquid watercolor, not too much. I really just want the colors to slightly blend around a little. Because of the water on the page, it will kind of create a nice effect in combination with the stenciled image here on the page. If you think it needs a little more water, just go in and spritz some more water onto the page. This. Maybe let's add in a little bit of the vibrant orange here. I think that's good enough already. Don't want to overdo it because I still want a little bit of the white showing through. And the next thing is I'm gonna dab off a tiny bit of the color over here on the side. If I can find a paper towel, I can do this. I'm just gonna lift a little bit back off the page over here on the side. And I think for a little bit more variation, I'm adding a tiny bit of red here. Just in some places for to add a little to this color play of the orange and the brown. And you know, in autumn, all those beautiful colors. That's one of the prettiest things. And one thing that I totally love about autumn, definitely. So like this, I'm gonna give this another tiny spritz of water here. Until I'm happy with the result. I think I really like it now. So I'm going to sprinkle in a tiny bit of the Rusty Car. That's what the color is called, Rusty Car. And just really a tiny bit, because I want a little bit of this effect of the walnut stain, walnut pigment, walnut ink pigment on my page. But again, not too much, just a little bit of this texture or color this adds to the page here. And I really like the way it looks, so I'm gonna let it dry now. Okay, so now that this is dry, I'm gonna cover a little bit of this, and I'm using another stencil, this one by Holtz in this case. I'm just gonna cover up the rest of this area here, and I'm using some gold or bronze effect spray in this case, metallic spray. I'm using that in here because I want to record this, but you might want to use this in a not well ventilated area because it smells pretty bad. But I actually just want to give it a little bit of a gold or bronze shine here. So adding this like this, okay. And I can move that away. And there you go, you have a little bit of this gold or bronze. Actually, it's called bronze, the color, but it looks more gold to me. A little bit of like a sunburst here, which I really like. Okay, and the next thing is I have some autumn leaves here, which I'm gonna spray coat with the bronze spray color. Spray paint. It really works good if you work inside of like a cardboard box. I'm gonna put them aside to dry. Let's do another one, a larger one. And let's do another one just in case. And then I have a piece of a book page here. And I'm just gonna, a book page. I have a book page. I'm just gonna tear out a piece here. Just a tiny bit. I still want a little bit of the book page to peek through, to shine through. Okay, so just add a little bit and maybe a little bit more in some other areas, like this. So I definitely want this like gold effect. Okay, now that the leaves are dry, I'm just gonna use, I think, 2 of them. And I'm gonna adhere them to my page using some gel medium. Of course, you could use any other type of collage glue of your choice, but I really like the gel medium, especially for items that have a little bit of texture, like those leaves here with all those veins, because it holds everything in place nice and neat. You really want to adhere it to the page safe and sound, because of course the leaves will dry a little more and then they will start to crumble slightly. And of course I don't want them to like completely fall off the page, so you want to adhere them secure to your page, even though usually I like to have things adhere to the pages very loose so that I can bend the edges upwards for a little bit of dimension. But in this case, once the leaves dry a little more, they would crumble and like fall apart, so you really want to adhere them nice and neat and safe and sound. So let's see, I think I'll just add this one down here. See, actually I like to look better if the edges are loose, but I know it would totally fall apart, so I'll just put it down like this so that it's nice in place. And the next thing I'm gonna do here is the following thing. I want to add some white paint splatters before I add my focal elements. So I will just grab my brush and my white Ecoline watercolor, and I'm just spritzing some paint splatters onto the page here. And this will take a little while to dry again, especially on those leaves, because of the metallic surface here. So I'm gonna let this dry. So next I'm gonna add a tiny piece of an old book page here, just for a little bit of additional texture. Just gluing it in place. And then the next thing is I have my images here, my focal elements for the page, the cute little autumn girl and the words, the most colorful time of the year, and 2 colorful leaves. Those are all just printed out and cut out from my autumn sticker sheet, which is available in my Etsy shop. And I'm just gonna adhere those to the page as well with some gel medium. In this case, just applying some glue to the center here, because I mentioned that before, I really like to have the edges like slightly loose, because it just adds a little dimension to the page. Like this. Then I'm going to add the phrase here, the saying, the words, the most colorful time of the year. Let's see where I'm going to put this. Maybe I should have thought about this before. Actually, I'm kind of like a cluster down here. Yeah. So I'm going to put this here. Like this. And then those 2 colorful autumn leaves. I think I'm going to stick them in up here. Kind of really like to have all the elements kind of engaging with each other somehow. Like this. Wonderful. I like it. So, last thing, I'm going to add some black paint splatters here just for some additional contrast. So I'm grabbing my black Ecoline watercolor and brush again. And I'm just gonna add some black paint splatters here. And this black, really, black always adds contrast and makes the other colors even more vibrant and makes them pop a little more. Like this. Yeah, and I think we're gonna leave it as it is. I really like the look, like the page. Cute little colorful autumn art journal page with this special touch of the metallic shiny golden autumn leaves here. Yes, so I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, this little video, and if you create a page inspired by this, please share with me. I always love to take a look at your projects. Just tag me on Instagram or Facebook or wherever, and I would love to check it out. Or you can also share it in my Facebook group if you like, if you want to. I'm going to add all the links that you need below the video and to the info box. Yes, so hope you liked, hope you enjoyed it. Wishing you a wonderful rest of October, a wonderful autumn time, and talk to you all again soon. Bye bye.